Policy usually arrives with grand speeches and signing ceremonies. This week, the rules for artificial intelligence emerged from empty desks and tick-in clocks. Our investigative ledger for the week is a map of administrative silence. Wednesday, Friday, day 56, day 1. Across state and federal governments, expired timers and silent regulators are currently dictating how conversational AI operates. When elected officials retreat from making active choices, the strict mechanics of statutory calendars take over. These deadlines grant power to tech vendors by default. We start in Hawaii. It is day 50 since Senator Jarrett Keohokoli's bill, regulating AI chatbots talking to minors, was transmitted to the governor's desk. Governor Josh Green issued his intent-to-veto list on Wednesday. He did not name the AI bill. Under Hawaii's rules, a bill the governor does not flag by that statutory deadline automatically becomes law on July 15th. The clock did the work. Arizona just demonstrated the exact opposite outcome for a similar AI mental health bill. Governor Katie Hobbs vetoed the legislation on June 19th. However, the state's House and Senate had already adjourned their sessions 6 days earlier. With no sitting chamber in town, the legislature had no way to take an override vote. This is the calendar trap. Without active sitting lawmakers in the building, executive silence or simple timing dictates the entire policy outcome. On Friday morning, a deadline expired for the Commerce Department to answer a bipartisan House letter. Congress was demanding the legal basis for the sudden suspension of Anthropic's AI models. Commerce ignored the public deadline. Instead, the Secretary sent a private license letter to Anthropic, clearing the Mythos 5 model for a select list of over 100 American companies and agencies. While the private clearance moved forward, Anthropic's public front remained frozen. Their statement page hasn't been touched in 2 weeks, still telling the public they are complying with a total government ban. This sets a template for federal AI policy. A directive can be issued publicly, then quietly dismantled through backroom license letters the moment an inquiry deadline hits. In Pennsylvania, it is now day 56 since the State Board of Medicine sued one chatbot vendor for unlicensed practice. During those 8 weeks of enforcement silence, 5 other vendors have continued to operate in the state, handing out fake medical license numbers when asked. A lone enforcement action has not changed the behavior of the rest of the market. That vacuum extends to the federal level. The FTC's inquiry into chatbots is at day 289 without a public result, and the FDA has lacked a permanent commissioner for 46 days. OpenAI filled this void by publishing its own calendar. On Friday, the company released GPT 5.6 Sol and self-rated the model as high risk in both cybersecurity and biological chemical categories. Their self-audit reports a 96.7% score on an internal cyber attack test, following more than 700,000 GPU hours of red teaming. When regulators remain silent, vendors become their own auditors. They set the safety thresholds and publish the results without any formal federal challenge. Because standard legislation is often politically costly, the silent glide path of statutory deadlines has become the new floor for AI policy. While the government's calendar is frozen, independent standards are emerging elsewhere. Grow Therapy and Stanford Medicine recently launched a partnership to establish clinical safety benchmarks. Stanford researchers are bypassing vendor white papers to grade actual human-escalated crisis cases from Grow's AI coach. They are auditing how the system handles real-world harm. The machine can help, but it cannot be left in charge. When the calendar is the only cop on the beat, independent clinical verification must become the standard for safety.